Hi, and welcome to the acting workout of the day. Two things. One, kind of a disclaimer, I guess. Um, Obviously, these are like 5-10 minute warm ups, which are all great. I will say that generally, work acting for 5 minutes a day is probably not going to make you the greatest actor in the world. Um, is what I would recommend is if any of these exercises resonate for you, if you feel they work, start combining them. Do like a 5 minute, build yourself like a 20-minute warm up you do every day. Things to use as tools when you're actually working or when you're in class, whatnot as well. Um, Again, it's like 8-minute abs. That's great, but only works for abs. You kind of want to rotate through these different exercises. I've noticed personally that I might focus on one aspect of acting, and then I noticed something else has gotten a little bit harder to do. Um, so just that. Pick and choose, see what you like. But again, doing 5 minutes of one specific exercise is probably not all that you need. Number two. So the exercise today, I'm going to slip a little bit away from all the physical stuff. I'm going to talk about emotion. I'm going to try to be brief because actors love to talk rather than just do. Um, there's a thought amongst a lot of actors that you never need to work on an emotion. That the emotional rise from the circumstances and all that's great in theory. However, there are films, there are plays where the play opens and you're hysterically sobbing. And if it's on film, you can't really fake that. Making cry face as opposed to actually having tears coming is not really a good substitute. That being said, saying be happy, be sad is really difficult, especially if you start thinking about it. And I personally hate the idea of like thinking about dead people to be sad. So back to Michael Chekhov. This is going to be the basics of working with emotional work. We're going to be doing a lot of that. But again, really hard. Be happy, be sad. Difficult to do. However, I like to trick my way into emotions. Without trying to sound too new agey, there's psyche-soma connection, which is basically your mind affects your body affects your mind. And it's, the thing, if you smile, you actually feel happier, right? But because of that, if you don't think too hard about the emotion, if you do something physical, it often leads to feeling the emotion. And again, if you play it correctly, hopefully the emotion will come. But again, never try to force it. But instead of, oh, I need to be scared, something you can do is practice. Let's say it is fear, let's say. You can't necessarily make yourself scared, but what you can do is, let's say, I'm going to raise my hand. That's just raising my hand. But then I can raise my hand cautiously. Or raise my hand fearfully. And I begin to feel a sense of an emotion of an actual fear or something happening. Check that out. And you can do that with pretty much most emotions. You can change the tempo and time. That'll actually kind of happen, I think, if you don't think about it. You don't think it's angry, so it has to be fast necessarily. You can have slow burn. But back to that. I want you to find a movement. For right now, we'll just have you raise your hand. Just raise your right hand. And try moving your hand. You're not trying to feel scared. You're not trying to do any of that. But you're just going to raise your hand neutrally. Let it drop. Just, maybe some grace in it, whatnot. Raise your hand. And then raise it with a little bit of fear, a little caution. And all I'm doing is raising my hand, but because I'm moving my hand slowly, Alright, so I had a little bit of a technical difficulty there, a battery issue. So, just to reiterate, I want you to try moving your hand, but moving your hand with these different emotions attached. Again, don't try to feel the emotion, just move your hand cautiously. Move your hand fearfully, move your hand with love, move your hand with anger, and try with different tempos, and just see how that actually affects your body, how moving in a certain way will affect your actual emotions. Alright, see you tomorrow.